Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Welcome to Backfire Simsport TV, and welcome to the latest instalment of our exciting new open wheel series, the Hexeal Alt+F4 Championship, rounds 3 and 4 from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. I'm Clyde Whiting, and there's only 2 of us tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the cameras and doing commentary, drum roll please. It's Princess Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody. Are we getting all the sounds tonight, are we?
Well, we might do, yeah. I have been playing a little bit. Last time out, Pete, you know, what more could we say? Yes, it was a small grid, but the racing was absolutely fantastic, and we were on the edges of our seats and the edges of bladder control for the whole race.
Yeah, honestly, it was bonkers. Spa did a great job for these cars, and you're right, the small grid didn't matter because nobody could really get away. The draft dragged them all together again each time they went round. It was brilliant. Hopefully, Red Bull Ring can do the same.
Yeah, if anything, I know it's not a draggy track like Spa, although, you know, it has got some straights. I don't know, I just... Red Bull Ring, we've done a few races here now in a couple of different series, and I personally think that the racing has been, you know, ultra competitive, close, and exciting. And then, you know, add this car into it that, you know, people are genuinely raving about it. And I think, you know, it's got all the ingredients to be, you know, yet another classic set of 2 races.
Yeah, I think this is a good format. It's that each race isn't too long, too protracted. We found that having that break in the middle last time allowed us to have a few interviews with the drivers, which was excellent. A really good idea. I'm going to claim it, even though it was completely your idea.
Well, you know, you've got to claim a good idea at some point in time, haven't you?
Yeah, even if it's not mine, yeah. But no, Red Bull Ring, a new track, all the right physics, and all the new details that come with the new iRacing service tracks. I like this track. When it came out on the service, I thought, oh my god, a boring F1 track. And it's not. It's fantastic. Those big straights that you get save you sometimes because you can sit in someone's slipstream and catch up. And when you're as bad as me, you need that.
To me, it's a weird track. You know, it's what, just looking at my notes, 2.68 miles, but it races like a 1.2 mile track.
Yeah.
and it looks it as well, you know, from the track map. Like I say, yes, there are some straights, and it's not it doesn't look like a particularly technical track, but when you race it, it's more technical than it looks, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, just looking at the track map on the screen at the minute, you've got the start-finish straight, which is a slipstream zone. Then the next one going up the hill is obviously a slipstream zone, and then the next one going across the top of the hill, which is another place for slipstream. And then you get into the twisty bit. So the really good drivers who put their cars on the limit and on the line and on the right racing line will get an advantage through those twisty bits, but they will lose it again in those straights for sure.
Yeah, and interesting, we was on board there, and as we came round the last two right-hand corners, I've seen a lot of overtaking there, because if you can get out of the twisty bits, as you called them, but the last left-hander, which is turn 7, and there's a kink, which is turn 8, if you can get a nose up the inside into turn 9, there's hardly any grip at all on the outside of turn 10. So if you can stay there, you will get a better exit down the start-finish straight. So it will be interesting tonight. You know, if the cars are as close as they were last time out, it's going to be interesting to see what tactics drivers employ to get the overtakes done. Like you say, is it just going to be dragging up the hill and popping out at the last minute, or can these drivers, literally put other cars in a position that they don't want to be? Because we know what contact can be in open wheelers, and when I say we know what it can be, it can be catastrophe.
Yeah, it can, and we've seen it before, but less so in our leagues. Evening to Marco Nomela on the chat. He should be in these, shouldn't he? It's a car that I think he would enjoy. I know he likes the past cars, but I think he would enjoy the combative racing, shall we say, in this car. Yeah, last time was utterly close quarters with people threading the needle between multiple of the cars. I really hope we get that again today, because that was such a laugh. It was brilliant.
Now, we seem to have had Sir Alan Toon join us. Alan,
right.
why are you not on track?
I can't get on there, my dear. I haven't got a thingy on my whatnot to press.
Oh, that's strange.
Yes, I thought it was strange. It was there last time, but it's not there this time. And when I cleverly hovered my thing over a friend's helmet, it said I could watch the session but not race it.
Okay. Do you own the track?
Where are we?
Red Bull.
Red Bull Ring. I don't know where you are.
Yes, of course I own it.
Okay, let me just have a look and see whether the session has closed or not. It shouldn't have done.
No, it should only close at the beginning of the race, shouldn't it?
Let you in.
No, it's just peculiar. The next one's in as well. Do you know the one in 2 weeks' time? That one's there.
Yeah, no.
This one was there as well the other day.
Yeah, I can see exactly what Alan is saying. I wouldn't be able to join either. It must have closed when qualifying started.
Is that a feature of the heats then?
It could be, yes. I think you should have got up earlier, Alan.
Well, I'll go and watch the stream and enjoy the race.
Okay.
Is what I should do.
Okay,
And,
I honestly don't know. I can only assume, as people.
You're right. I should have been here earlier. I thought it started at 7 o'clock, and I was there at just.
Yeah, qualifying starts at 7, so it could be with the heat format that's when it closes the session.
Right. Well, not to worry. I'm not worried. I'm looking forward to this, and yeah, I hope we have a great race. I'll get out your way, gents.
Okay.
Thanks, Alan.
How do I do that?
There we go. I've bitten them.
You flushed him.
Flushed him.
Good effort.
Yeah, so just a note there to everybody. Make sure you turn up to your session in plenty of time.
I didn't know that. I thought that the sessions would close at the start of the race.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as well, but I've literally just gone on the league sessions and I have absolutely no buttons to join it, so yeah, one to note for everybody. Anyway, let's look at this qualifying session, shall we, Pete?
Yeah, definitely. Let me put the gaps up.
There we go. So, Gary Craig currently sitting on provisional pole with Tyler Newitt second and Adam Wright third. Interesting to see, what was his name? Carter Hutchison isn't with us this week.
No, that's a surprise because he was well in the thick of it.
He certainly was, yes.
Yeah, I'm amazed he's not there. But we've had a few people with personal life either appointments or problems this week, so maybe he's one that's copped out for the real world as well.
Yeah, could be. Although we have had a couple of new drivers. Ellis Stevens joins another BSTV series. Let's see if it's a one race appearance as it normally is. And also did Stephen Phillips race last time?
He did.
He did. Okay, so it must just be Ellis that's with us then.
Yeah, and then we've got Alexander Roggenbuck is the one in the yellow and black wasp kind of paint.
Yeah, not set a time yet. So last time out at Spa, 2 races. Race 1 was won by Carter Hutchinson. No, it wasn't. It was won by Carter Hutchison.
Yeah, we did that a few times.
Jamie Wilson was second and Tyler Newitt in third. Race 2 was won by Tyler Newitt with Gary Craig in second and Carter Hutchison in third. Very, very early days in the championship, but top 3 are Tyler Newitt, Carter Hutchison and Jamie Wilson. And in the team championship, BSTV Esports lead the way with pink team, then green team, and then Full Send Racing. Driver of the meeting, Carter Hutchinson got 2 votes, Tyler Newitt got 1. It's an open house tonight, Pete. We've got Marco Namela's joined us in the booth now.
Hey, good evening, Marco.
Hello.
Hello. So, do you not fancy these open wheelers for racing?
I tried a little bit, and they are actually those cars feel really good to drive. Like they actually have tires on.
Yeah, not spherical glass. Yeah. Oh dear, some of the open wheelers can feel a bit strange. Have you done any official racing in these things?
I have done one.
Right.
Donington, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago?
And how did you find that?
It's fun. It's tricky to be fast, but it's pretty easy to drive overall. But yeah, there is a higher ceiling on the skill ceiling on this car.
Yes, I would say so. And Red Bull Ring, you must have done many laps at Red Bull Ring. It's a track that virtually every series goes to.
Yeah, I've done. It's like there is weird corners like off camper and the Mickey Mouse section on the middle on faster cars. But I don't know how it feels on this car.
Yeah. So, what else are you racing at the minute then? Because I know you're almost in rehabilitation from an operation, aren't you? Really. And yeah, what is it that you're racing? What cars and series are you doing?
I actually haven't raced much. I have done some ovals because I don't need to brake there. So,
Right.
So some oval. Then I've been driving like all the different cars just to have fun.
Cool. And did you watch the Spa event that we did with these cars last time? You did, didn't you? Because you were on the chat, I think.
Yeah, I think I watched the first race, then I went to sleep.
Oh dear, that's funny. Looks like we're getting towards the end of qualifying. Cars pulling up after they finish their laps now.
Yeah, Gary Craig still sitting on pole, and whilst he was chatting to Marco, we saw Tyler Newitt take a rather big spin, trying to extract the last hundredths out of his time.
Yeah, and he's not far off.
Yeah, I think the car is pretty easy to spin, but if you push it to the limit, but it has a wide limit where you can hold the car in. So.
Right, okay, so we have your official starting grid for race 1. Gary Craig goes off on pole for BSTV Esports Green. Tyler Newitt, second, BSTV Esports Pink. Jamie Wilson, third, Team Chimera. Ellis Stevens, Privateer... Oh, sorry, apologies. Adam Wright, BSTV Esports Green in 4th. Jason Morris, Privateer 5th. Ellis Stevens, Privateer 6th. Stephen Phillips, Dash Hound Racing in 7th. Michael Frost, Privateer in 8th. And Alexander Roggenbuck, Privateer in 9th. Cars are gridding, Pete. We're almost ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a mad dash for that first corner, I think.
I would have thought so, and then some mad dragging up the hill. For those who don't know, 30-minute races. Race 1, then a 15-minute gap, and then race 2. No enforced pit stops. You'll only see drivers pitting if they get damage. So just waiting for Jason Morris and Ellis Stevens to pit.
Or grid. They're leaving it right to the last second. Now we're just waiting for Jason. And there he is.
There he is. So, lights are about to come on. Here we go. Man, we're green. Oh, that was a cracking start by Gary Craig.
It was, he was well launched.
No wheel spin, no nothing. Jamie Wilson's gone with him. But he's going to have to go around the outside of Tyler Newitt. Probably going to think better of that. Now it's the drag race up the hill.
Look at the gap
Not
Gary's
sure if
got
anything
already.
will anybody try anything too dramatic on the opening lap? I'm not sure.
Tyler's gone defensive.
Yeah, Jamie's going to have to find a way around Tyler before he gets under too much pressure from Adam Wright. And we heard from talking to the drivers last time out, Pete, there's not a great deal that you can change in the garage setup-wise. So
No.
the cars are going to be not identical, but similarly set up to each other.
They are. This is about very much about driving style. Marco, what sort of approach? Oh, sorry. Come back to that in a minute. There goes Tyler. Oh, where's he gone?
He's coming back on track.
That's called tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
it's-
looked like there was a
It's the
bit
switchback.
Oh dear.
That's class. And around he went.
Yeah, he's got some catching up to do now.
He really does. He's stone last at the minute.
He certainly is, and 5 seconds last as well.
Wow,
that's,
okay.
that's given Gary Craig a lead of just over a second. I almost said a minute there.
Overtake. Was that an overtake back here with Stephen? I think it was. Or was it nearly one? I think it was nearly one. I think he got ahead.
Yeah.
And then it went back at him again, but good fighting here. Oh, he went to the outside, that's why. And then he's ahead there, and then it switches back again.
Yeah. It's tempting there, isn't it? Because that little kink there is obviously a left-hander, so you think you're on the inside, but you're immediately on the outside for the next corner.
Yeah.
But that's Stephen and Ellis fighting out there.
Stephen and Jason.
Stephen and Jason. Of course it is. Sorry. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Jamie Wilson is closing very slowly on Gary Craig. That must be some sort of slipstream effect, I would have thought.
Yeah, and look at how Adam's drawn up onto the back of Jamie now.
Yeah, Jamie's dragging Adam with him, isn't he? Obviously, they don't want Gary to disappear too much into the distance. We know what a good driver Adam Wright is. He's proved that in all types of cars. So maybe, I don't know. Do they employ team tactics this early on?
Unlikely.
Adam could fight like hell with Jamie to let Gary get away, or he could sit behind Jamie and...
Adam nearly went.
He nearly did, didn't he?
Yep.
I was going to say, he could sit behind Jamie and drag himself up to Gary.
That was a great save.
It was. He was fully crossed over. So, in terms of driving style and how you approach corners in this car, Marco, what's your advice to anybody who would take the wheel behind one of these things?
I think in iRacing usually you want to trail brake a lot, but with this car you want to actually coast. That will turn the car nicely and it's still pretty stable.
Yeah, it's all about maintaining momentum through the apex of the corner, isn't it? And not being too aggressive into the brake. Well, you brake enough to not be too aggressive into the corner with speed and power yourself out. I suppose that's true of all tracks, but with the high downforce cars, you get a greater benefit.
Yeah, it's like the momentum is key on every car, but in a little bit less powered car, it of course it's the effect is bigger. Like if you lose the momentum, you lose so much time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is physically true, but I watch a lot of iRacing, and it seems to me that open wheel cars are so much more susceptible to spinning with a wheel on the grass, whereas the tin tops and the G cars, a lot of drivers can get away with it, but not a lot of drivers get away with it in an open wheeler.
Yeah, is that to do with traction control, do you think?
I don't know. I would guess it's more a downforce thing than anything. You know, a sudden loss of downforce.
Yeah, or a sudden loss of adhesion with just one wheel or something. Yeah, and just destabilises.
Yeah, or a sudden loss of talent.
Well, that's generally what happens with me, but yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Like the open wheelers are, like, I think you're carrying more lateral load on, like, when you go a little bit on the exit, like on the grass or something, you're having a lot more load on that outside tire than in tin top cars, except on V8.
Well, that makes sense to me because it's a downforce car. Obviously, you need to go. We had this discussion last time, OP. You know, you have to go quicker round the corners than you think you can to keep the downforce, which then allows you to go quicker round the corners. So yeah, one wheel on the grass, that makes sense, doesn't it? You know, you're carrying more speed through the corner, and therefore there's more lateral load on one side of the car. So Tyler Newitt back up to Mike Frost now on this recovery drive.
Yeah, Mike's not making it easy for him.
No,
Oh,
hang
hang
on. Smoke there. I think that was Jason Morris. It must have been Jason Morris. Yes, it was. He was doing so well.
He was. Oops, wrong one. Let me try that again. There we go.
Well, that was a weird one.
It was. He just snapped on him. Brake bias?
Possibly. So that's a particularly heavy braking zone, though. But
Well, actually, you're right. You shouldn't be on the brakes at all there, should you?
yeah.
Let's just see if we can get that in a different camera.
Absolutely.
Way.
Oh, yeah. I think he maybe just tried to carry a bit too much speed around there. Plus, his left side tyres were up on that curb.
Yeah. So, we've got Jamie here under some pressure from Adam. Again.
Yeah, and I tell you what, this is bringing Ellis Stevens into it as well. He's got that gap down to Adam to 1 second.
Yeah, he'll be well within the slipstream there, I think. But they've also got slipstream on Gary Craig, haven't they? So.
Yeah, but they're not really making inroads on Gary.
True.
That gap is flitting between sort of 1.1 and 0.8 of a second.
And not surprisingly, Adam on the last lap did the fastest lap of the race, pulling onto the back of Jamie.
Yeah, Alan Toon on the chat says poor Jason doing so well. He was having a cracking drive there. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Game on.
Is that a bad corner?
Slow down.
Oh, slow down. Wow.
Slow down, I think, for Gary.
Yeah.
But he's going to lose the lead here, surely. It's a right-hander. Oh, I thought Adam was going to thread the needle then.
Yeah. Look at Ellis as well.
Yeah, Gary tried in vain there to hang on round the outside.
I'm having flashbacks of Spa. Here we go. Here we go. So that's Gary back in the lead. For how long?
Yeah, but he did really well there because he I don't think he did it on purpose, but he blocked Jamie's exit and stopped Jamie coming back at him, but basically gave Adam the opportunity to have a go at him.
And now Adam's vying for the lead off his teammate.
Yeah, no, see, you got two BSTV cut. They just need to drive for the next 20
Like
minutes
that.
like that, and no one can get through.
Oh dear. I'm going to have to go back to the chopper, I think, just to see where the cars are positioned properly. 2x2. Are we on some sort of parade lap? You sure you don't want to be doing this, Marco? It looks great fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's maybe, but I haven't done any laps on this track, so.
I'll tell you something else.
Ooh, Ellis.
Stephen Phillips is in this as well.
He is. Oh dear.
Jamie Wilson has gone from first to third in the lap. So Adam Wright now leads the way. Gary Craig down to second. Jamie Wilson down to third. 11.5 minutes gone.
Adam's one of those annoying people who's good in whichever car he's in, isn't he?
Yeah, Stephen Phillips just, I don't know if he put a move on Ellis. Ellis made it very, very easy for him.
I think that was a slowdown again.
Yeah,
right, okay.
you could be right, yeah.
Yeah, it must be. Look how much gap he's got on him there.
Yeah.
And he must
you
just...
see
Yeah, he's just dropped out of the gas, yeah.
Yeah, the three in front pulling away as well, so...
Yeah. Good call, Marco.
Okay, so Alan tipped.
Hang on.
Are we going to get? Oh, where's Jamie?
Hang on. Adam is way down the field. That looks like he's suffering some sort of slow. Oh no.
No.
Ooh.
Oh.
Pushing it too hard, eh?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Alan Toon was rating was, his driver was Jason, and Jason had a spin, so he's now changed allegiances to Ellis, so that'll be Ellis's race over.
And Jason went round again.
Jason goes again.
And our new leader is?
Back to Gary Craig. But there's still 4 in this battle. As we still watch the replay.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
Sorry, did that last time as well.
That's your one allowed mistake.
Right then.
Yeah, Adam dropped behind Tyler.
I reckon Stephen Phillips is going to win this.
Jamie did a nice pass like a lap ago for the lead.
Yeah, we was busy watching the replay.
Oh, around the outside.
Oh, around the outside, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Enjoyed that.
Fight for the lead again.
Oh, again! It's just like Spa. It's brilliant. Are they all side by side here? They are, aren't they?
Yeah. 2 by 2.
I'm going to have to go up here again just to see where they're positioned again.
Jamie Wilson going to pull this off.
Who's
Think he
latest? I don't know. Oh, he has as well,
might.
yeah.
Good move.
Why have you got horses trotting?
It's clapping, all right? I've got one that looks like a hippo, but I don't know what it is, so I'm trying to press it. I'm going to press it anyway. Ooh.
Oh.
Why does that look like a hippo?
Don't know.
All right, so your money's on Stephen Phillips then.
Yep.
What do you think, Marco? Halfway through, pick a winner.
Jamie.
Well, I've got to go for
right.
Gary then, haven't I? Because Alan's already gone for Ellis, so
Yep.
there you go. One of us is going to win. Or maybe not.
I feel like Jamie is always getting better and better throughout the session.
Yes. That's often true of Jamie, though. Oh, that sausage curb's brutal, isn't it? Kicks the car right up. Look how much Gary's lost there.
Yeah, let's have a look. No, Stephen's covered that off because he wants to have a go at Gary, but it's going to be around the outside.
No, look how late Gary is on the brakes. Oh.
See
Oh!
what I mean? It's not on purpose. It's because you take that shallow entry, your car just throws you out, but it has that effect of stopping that run on somebody.
Marco's call is making his way off down the road a little bit now.
I think that's fine. Like even if you can control it, like you close the door before the guy behind is even on your side. So.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm saying that's an outcome of taking that shallow entry, that you actually block that outside run through no fault of your own. The car is going there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's Adam's got past Mike Frost again.
Yeah, has Adam had another issue?
Yes.
because he was a lot closer to Tyler.
He recently did this. Is that the same corner he spun at the last time? It is.
I'm not sure, but I feel like that's something when you release the brake, it like the rear becomes a little bit loose.
Right.
Yeah, it could be I think Marco could be onto something there. It could be the quick shift of balance in the car.
Yeah.
That's throwing it.
Well, the weight in these things is all at the back, right? So
Yeah.
if there's an imbalance, it's going to try and rotate round you. You know, you suddenly stop the front and the back it will want to keep going, won't it? Because that's where the weight is.
Yeah, Jamie's extending this lead, which is interesting.
What are you eating?
Snack break.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
I've just rustled in a bit of paper. It's a sound effect. I need a tumbleweed button for when Pete tells a joke.
I don't tell jokes.
So Ellis seems, I don't know how to describe. He doesn't seem to want to get involved at the present. He's there, but he's not really trying anything, is he?
No. I don't know whether he's just stalking.
Russell wants to know if there's any reason why everyone sounds like they're in a bathroom compared to Pete.
If there is a reason, then I don't know what it is, because I'm not that technologically advanced.
Okay, so in answer to that question, me and Marco are in the bath together doing this broadcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
And his excuse for not racing is that he wants to be better at the TCR.
I'm not wearing that.
No.
This car is classic arrive and drive. You only need that hour practice.
Oh, apart from Ellis, who...
No, he's just finding overtaking lines.
Yeah.
And we're not having the funds thing either, Russell. We're the cheapest league going.
I think Gary's pulling onto the back of Jamie again. He's caught it, pulled it under a second.
Yeah, that was 1.4 at one point.
Yeah, I think Craig is getting a hint of draft now, so...
How far back do you think the draft effect is, Marco?
I think it's like 0.8 or 0.9.
Oh, right. I thought it would be more, but of course, high downforce cars and the aero means it's probably a lot less than a tin top.
Yeah, I think, and also, like, longer the straight, it's a little bit bigger, so it might be like 1 second here.
Oh, Gary.
Whoa, hello. He's paying to get back in.
That's a slowdown.
Oh, hang on. We've got a few things going on further back.
This is Adam.
Oh, off in the weeds.
Yeah, he's struggling.
And then we had this happen.
No, not again.
Sadly. Yeah, and on the same corner as the very first one.
It doesn't like them curbs, does it?
Not at all. Not at all. Right, back to it.
I still feel like the car is loose even before it hits the curb, and that curb just finishes it off.
Yeah, you could be right.
It's all happening now. It's all happening now.
Right, Ellis, is he going to make this move this time? He is. Did Stephen have a slowdown? Because he went past him rather rapidly.
I've not got any off tracks for Stephen.
Maybe he knew it was a done deal.
Oh, maybe got full incident limit.
Oh,
do you
this is a
think?
drive of shame.
Let's have a look. No. Oh. He's trying to heat the tyres in the pit road. Pulled up. Reversed.
So we'll have to find out what that is all about.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's not a drive of shame.
What about this one then? This is odd.
Adam.
Yeah. What's going on?
I think it's incident limits, and it shows as a like a...
Are you out of fuel
What?
too? No.
I'm really unsure what's going
I know you
on
got
there.
it.
I am as well. It's just bizarre.
Surely two people have not raced with qualifying fuel.
Well, Stephen's on his way out. That was a long stop though for fuel.
Andy has a poopy bottom.
Well, we'll find out in the half-time break.
We will. Ooh.
Yeah, I genuinely didn't hear you ask about fuel numbers.
Woo!
Gee, Ellis.
Ellis certainly exploring the boundaries, shall we say.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Ellis wants the track to be widened apparently.
That gap has closed right up now again. He's away again, look.
And yes, Russ, Gary did just say that somebody had a poopy bottom. I don't know how I stopped the chat coming through. I'll have to sort that out later. And
Hello.
Ellis is
Hello.
slowing.
That looked like slow down.
Yeah.
That looked like he had a slowdown that he was trying to get rid of, couldn't, and had to slow right down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the exit of turn 1.
Okay, so we've got less than 5 minutes.
I think we've had everything happen.
Yeah. This is the battle. So Pete was obviously wrong, because he picked Stephen.
Yeah. I didn't know he was going to do whatever's happened that we don't know about.
I think Alan's
The race
pick-
is not over yet.
This is true, yeah.
But I think Alan's pick might be out of it unless these two take each other out.
That was fairly wide from Jamie, but I think that was still okay. Like in
Yeah, I think
track
they're-
limits.
Both right on the limit there, aren't they, of track limits.
Alan says he's doomed them all.
Gary's making the move now. Oh, Jamie's good round the outside there, isn't he?
Yeah. Ooh. Something's going on here.
Ooh. Sometimes that's a slowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's going to be advantage Gary.
Or.
Jamie's late on the brake.
Ooh, he's done it.
Yeah, Gary couldn't do that he had to slow down extra, didn't he? Because Jamie was there and he couldn't let the car drift out.
Yeah.
I've just remembered I'm going to have to log into the session because otherwise I won't be able to extend the gridding.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So 2.5 minutes to go.
And this is the closest battle on track.
And it's the main battle. It's for first place.
And there's a back marker ahead.
Right, what can Gary do? Where can he do it? He can't leave it for the start-finish straight because they'll cross the finish line.
It's quite early on the straight, isn't it?
Yeah, before he gets to him.
Yeah. He's dropped back to about 0.7 of a second and holding there now, so...
Yeah, they're going to get the white flag this time round. It's creeping back in now. Is he going to try and get it done here? And then try and hold it? I think he's too far back.
Yeah. Hopefully, well, for the entertainment value, he can pull it in. Ooh, he nearly lost it. Gary went sideways around that.
Yeah, I've been thinking like if like Jamie has the car more understeer on aero.
Yeah.
And that's why he's losing a little bit on the straights, but he's more stable on entry and exit.
Yeah, Gary's not quite close enough.
Something that I've just missed is that Ellis went to the pit road.
I would guess that would have to be incident limits, wouldn't it? We've seen him.
Yeah, he's been off a few.
Yeah.
Isn't the incident limit penalty harsher on heat racing?
Not that I know of, no, because you set it up like you do a normal session.
Hmm. Well, this is close now. This is going to be tasty. And look who's in third.
Yeah.
Tyler. The first car
I
crash.
really thought Gary was getting the run then, but no.
Who's that crawling?
Excellent podium drive.
Jamie Wilson
Adam
takes the win.
Adam slowed his car so much so he didn't have to do another lap, so he could get overtaken.
Tyler got pretty close in the end.
Look at this for fourth place. Mike Frost.
Yeah, good drive by
Good
Mike.
effort.
Didn't put any wheels out of place, did he?
No.
I think Tyler after that first spin was like 20 seconds back, and in the end it was only 6.7 seconds. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he can do in race 2, providing he doesn't make any mistakes. We're going to have a full reverse for race 2. So Jamie Wilson is going to have to come all the way from the back. Pete now clicks all the buttons to get us our official result from race 1.
I will do if it lets me. Is it tripped over?
No. Well, I'll tell you what, whilst he is messing about doing that, let's bring in our second place finisher, Gary Craig. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you, good evening.
Well, that was a bit intense between you and Jamie. We sort of thought you may have had something for him in the end, but not quite good enough.
Yeah, I've got a much better last corner than him, but if I'd carried any more speed there, I would have got the slowdown, so I had to let off. But I made too many mistakes on my own earlier on. But no, it was a good race anyway.
Yeah, we did see that you'd been not particularly out in the weeds, but you was exploring the limits of the track, I think is the diplomatic way of saying it.
The only reason there was no weeds
Apart
is
from once,
yeah,
where you had to pay to get back in.
Yeah, I was going to say the only reason there's no weeds out there is because there's so much tarmac, but I was still sideways on it nearly dead. Managed to recover that. I was sideways in turn 1 a couple of times. Yeah, I was just glad to not do what Adam did and spin it several times, get a drive through and get a pit entry infringement. So, you know, keeping it real for the team there, Adam.
Ah, so that explains one. Anyway, and the other thing was, I commented on you had an absolutely fantastic start. There was no wheel spin, no nothing. Have you been practicing, or was that pure luck?
Nope, no practice. First gear, full throttle, dump the clutch. I think I may have modulated the accelerator as it initially spun up, but I think Jamie got the best start, to be honest. But no, it was okay.
And you got away there for a little while. How strong is the draft?
Very. You need to be a second away. So if you're more than a second, you have to get there on pace. But when you're within a second, it's very hard then to break somebody from behind you. And it's all straights and fast corners around here, so it is powerful. It's like Spa again, which is good. It's perfect for these cars. It kept us in a fun bunch there.
Yeah, mini Spa. Anyway, well, congratulations on that second place. You're going to have to come from the back in race 2. Can you get up there and win it?
I can give it a shot.
That's what we like to hear.
No promises.
That's what we like to hear. Okay, Gary, well, thanks for coming and joining us in the booth, and good luck for race 2.
Yes, thanks, Clyde.
Okay, let me drag in Mr. Tyler Newitt. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. So, and how can I'm trying to think of nice ways of putting this, but
textbook
I can't.
podium drive, I think. Classic
well,
run to the third step of the podium.
I was thinking more along the lines of running out of talent and spinning your car.
Yeah, I mean, that happened. I wouldn't summarize the whole race that way. Maybe for Adam, but, you know, that was just one little miscue on the first lap, and all was good afterwards.
Just cold tires?
No, well, sort of. That corner gets sketchy with the rear as the run goes on, and I'd just done a long run of practice and qualifying where it was sketchy through there, so I was very overly tentative, and it understeered way more than I was expecting on the cooler tires, and just caught a bit of the gravel and hooked me around. So it was more a matter of practicing the wrong thing, I guess, or not anticipating the track changes. So.
Yeah, and then ultimately, you know, as you quite rightly pointed out, from being dead last to third step on the podium, I don't know. Maybe we could say helped by other drivers, but if other drivers want to go over the incident limit and get drive-through penalties and then get pit lane infringements as well, that's their fault and not yours. So overall, you must be pleased that it wasn't a 6th or a 7th place.
Yeah, it works. It was. I was just kind of trying to put in fast laps after I spun and reminding Gary that I fought Jamie to bring him into the podium last race, which he didn't seem to take into consideration. But it was, this track is much trickier in this car than Spa was for whatever reason. It's a combination, I think, of the curbing doesn't suit these cars, and then just the lack of aero makes it so that the kind of off camber flowy corners, it's pretty tricky to get right every time. So I was not surprised to see people fall by the wayside, myself included.
Well, you've had your practice of getting through the field in race 1. Now you're going to have to do it again in race 2. Where do you think you can finish? Do you think you can win this one from your starting position?
Yeah, I think I could. Gary's got, I think, the best pace of anyone here, because he did 12 laps of practice to everyone else's 0. So I think I think Gary is the toughest challenge. Jamie obviously found some pace through that race. I'd like to believe it'll come down to us 3, but who knows?
Yeah, and we know Adam can drive when he's not spinning. Stephen Phillips looked quick. Ellis looked quick as well. So yeah, it could be a fun race too.
It'll be fun for sure. Yeah, and as long as people stay in the draft, it's going to be a scrap at the front.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth, and hopefully we'll speak to you again after race 2.
Yep, see ya.
Right, Pete. So, race 2, it's going to be interesting, is it? With these fast guys coming from the back, are they going to be patient? Are they going to force the issue? There's arguments for both sides of the coin, isn't there?
There is, yeah. You've got Adam Wright and Stephen Phillips, who were at the front of the race 1, towards the start anyway, before all the shenanigans started and drive-through penalties or pit stop penalties, stop and holds. And they're going to be starting in positions 1 and 2, and then you've got a couple of guys that struggled either on pace or with the handling of the car. Jason Morris seems to be fast, but he's just a bit spinny. And then, of course, you've got Ellis, who had trouble as well. There he goes round again in the background of the screen there. Mike Frost, who kept it clean and got a decent result. And that's pretty good going, isn't it? 4th place when you've got all these guys in here.
For me, being a not very quick driver, Mike drove the perfect race. He didn't make mistakes. He let everybody else around him make mistakes and capitalised on them.
Yeah, and then you've got the 3 that are going to try and fight their way through elbows out, which is going to be Tyler, Gary and Jamie. So it's going to be a very interesting race. You've got fast guys at the front, fast guys at the back. The guys at the back will want to go even faster, knowing that there's 2 quick guys at the front. But whether all those guys can stay away from that pit lane penalty, I don't know.
Yeah, we've seen it's very easy to go off track here. It's very easy to be a little bit greedy, and you know, even them 1Xs and 2Xs, when you've only got 15 to play with in 30 minutes, they can build up, and then as we see with Adam and possibly Stephen, not quite sure, but you know, a drive-through penalty and then probably speeding in pit lane or an unsafe pit entry, and then that just compounds the problem.
Yeah, definitely. Is Marco still with us? What was Marco's take on race 1 and the impact on race 2?
I don't know. I'm actually driving the car on the.
Classic. Awesome stuff. Well, you keep doing that and you can get some insider knowledge. I think the next race is going to be... I don't know where I'm going to point the camera. I'm open to suggestions.
Well, it's like you said. It's that's what I like about these reverse grid races. You know, arguably the 3 quickest drivers are starting in the back 3 positions. So they've got to fight their way through. All right, not a large field, but they've still got to get through. But they're also going to be fighting each other, because if and when they get to the head of the field, they all 3 of them want to be first.
Yeah.
So there's going to be lots of like battles within battles, and you know, we see from that race, you know, Tyler made his mistake early on, but couldn't get, you know, the best he could have hoped for there was second. He ran out of time to get any further up the grid. So we know one mistake and that takes you out of contention for the win. So not only do these drivers need to get through the field, not only do they need to get past each other, but they also can't make a mistake, because they know that takes them out of it and just leaves it up to the other 2.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen in the first one that if the guys at the front can keep it clean, any mistakes from anybody else from second down over, it's going to mean that you stand a very limited chance of getting back to the podium. Tyler had all the laps to do it, and had some help along the way, because some people did get out of his way, which helped him immensely, because as soon as you start tangling with other drivers and fighting them, you lose masses of time. We've seen it before with cars that catch up to packs because the pack's fighting and things like that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's bring you your official result from race 1. So Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera, takes away the win. Gary Craig, BSTV Esports Green in second, with Tyler Newitt, BSTV Esports Pink in third. Mike Frost came home fourth, Ellis Stevens in fifth, Jason Morris sixth, Alexander Roggenbuck in seventh, Stephen Phillips in eighth, and Adam Wright in ninth. So drivers are coming towards the end of their it's called a warm-up session. Some people call it a rest session. Some people call it a going for a foggy session. But either way, they're going to be gridding up in less than 2 minutes, Pete. So, your prediction was totally wrong for the last race.
I don't think I've ever been right.
Who are you going to hex in race 2?
I'm going to re-hex Stephen Phillips. Because he's starting on pole, is he? No, he might be, actually, yeah.
Stephen Phillips again?
I think so. Anyway, we'll find out.
Right, might be pole.
Oh, right, yes, because he was a lap down, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, Adam could do it, but I think Adam had a few incidents along the way last time, whereas Stephen only had a pit lane infraction, we'll call it. So my money's on Stephen again.
Okay, well, I'm going to make Marco pick last because he got it right last time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Tyler because I do think Tyler was quick there, and I do love drivers with confidence when you say to them, can you come from the back and win? And a lot of drivers will go, well, you know, it's going to be difficult, I'll give it my best shot, But whenever you pose that question to Tyler, he goes, yeah, of course I can. So, yeah, Tyler for me. Marco, who do you think's going to take this second race away?
I think Jamie.
Ooh. Ooh.
It was the defending was so good, and didn't seem to have any trouble with the control of the car. So
Okay, so there's 3 drivers there that are definitely not going to win now because we've. Oh, hello. Ellis is currently upside down.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, the session trip, just as you said it.
Oh no.
Not good.
Oh, that would have been really good. Yeah, he was like an upside down turtle that he was just going nowhere. Okay, so I have remembered to extend the grid. So
Awesome.
Pete wants to get our starting grid up for us. I've got plenty of time to run you through it. So, Adam Wright, lucky loser in race 1 for BSTV Esports Green, goes off on pole position. Stephen Phillips for Dashhound Racing second, and Alexander Roggenbach Privateer off third. Jason Morris goes off 4th with Ellis Stevens in 5th. Mike Frost goes off 6th. And then we have Tyler Newitt in 7th, Gary Craig in 8th, and Jamie Wilson, race 1 winner, coming from the back, starting in 9th position. So, what have I missed on the chat? Evening to Chris Jackson. Alan Toon has gone for Tyler, then Jason, then Ellis. So it looks like Jamie Wilson's going to win because Ellis has been hexed twice and so has Tyler.
Yeah. And some of these hexes are strong tonight.
The force is strong with this one. Okay, engines are revving. We wait for the lights to come on. Second 30-minute race of the evening. Podium from race 1 starting at the back. Lights are coming on. And we're green.
Good launch from
Not
everybody.
a particularly good start from Stephen Phillips. An okay start from Adam
Ooh,
Wright.
Jason.
Jason with
Hey.
a clacker of a start.
Nice move. Oh, he's not
Yeah.
made it stick though. Oh. Oh!
Oh, hello.
Who was that?
That was Ellis and Mike.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Only 3 wheels on that wagon. We'll watch that in a minute. That's Gary nearly doing a move on Tyler straight away.
Yeah. And then they thought about going 3 wide here, but backed out.
Adam's kind of checked out. He's got himself, what's that? Nearly a second lead already.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that don't last.
Greg was trying to block that outside move.
Yeah. Yeah, the little too ferociously that time, I think.
Yeah.
So the 3 at the back.
Right then. Whilst these sort themselves, I'm going to just have a look at this.
Yeah, let's see what happened there. Was it an interlocked wheel somewhere?
So that bright green car. Ooh.
Ooh, looked like, to me, it looked like Mike thought he was clear on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and came across, yeah. Yeah. Should we have it again, just in case?
Yeah. It just looked like Ellis was holding his line to me.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just one of those fortunate things. I've done that so many times, and basically gone apoplectic at the car behind for hitting me, and then
There was some
watched the
action on hairpin.
The what?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
lap hairpin.
Gonna have to go chopper again, I'm afraid. That's the best way to see what the cars are doing with this track.
Tyler, Jamie.
Whoa!
Ooh. Do you know what?
Nice save, though.
It looked, I don't know if Jamie nudged him or whether there was a bit of net code, but Tyler just seemed to take off there and then have far too much speed and had to bail to not hit Alexander.
Yeah.
Jamie and Gary. That gap at the front is now gone, Pete.
Yes. They're absolutely together, but I'm going to go back to this because they're all shuffling here. These three are slowing each other down. They're losing time to the front three.
Well, that makes it even better, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
'Cause, they're already running out of time.
These three are fairly calm about things. These three are not.
Yeah, it's about 4 seconds between Jamie Wilson and Jason Morris, who you can see just at the back there of these three.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. That was Tyler on the inside, trying to make a move and didn't get it done.
It's like these three have made a pact at the start. You know, they've gone, do you know what? Let's not worry about winning. Let's just have a race.
I don't know what to look at. There's 2 packs of 3 scrapping. Stephen has got to do something here, has he? No, he's being patient.
And Chris Jackson asking how was the racing in the first race. Yes, it was fantastic. Apart from drivers kept making mistakes and dropping themselves out of contention.
This was Alexander.
Oh, we've seen that a couple of times as well, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. A few times. Not bad, that one.
No, that's not one of those where you're out in the kitty litter and it takes you 3 weeks to find the track again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy to do on this track, spinning the car.
Yeah.
When you release brake and throttle, the car becomes really loose, and you can't catch the car with brake. You only need to catch it with the throttle. So, and if you put too much, it's gonna spin. So
I can see that.
And we're off to Hockenheim next in this series, which is going to be, I think, another good track for these cars.
Yeah, definitely.
Bit of a wait till that one, though. That's not coming up until June the 4th. So, what's that gap doing? It's still going up.
It is. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Somebody, I fear, has had a slow down. Yep.
And you won't have to anyway. What a shame.
Oh. What? Strange things are happening.
And all I can hear from you, Pete, is, oh!
So, Adam is now back here. Ah, right, it's just come on to my event tracker, so we better have a look at this one.
Yeah, what has happened to Adam again?
Oof, I only got that bit.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will go back and have a look on my screen.
Maybe it'll do it properly this time. Let's have a look. No. That's all you're getting.
Right, let me see if I can find out what happened to Adam. It's all on his lonesome.
So all in one lap.
From what I can see.
Jason finds himself at the front.
Yeah, pretty much. The corner that we saw Alexander spin.
Mm-hmm.
Adam got it all wrong there. Ended up facing across the track with more oncoming cars, so had to sit and wait for them to go past before rejoining.
Right.
So, who picked Jason? Oh, that was Alan.
Was it?
Yes.
Well, I'm still in it. For now.
Well, that gap is now coming down.
Yeah. All the shenanigans.
Yeah. When we're coming up to 10 minutes. Really thought he was going to have a go there.
Yeah, I did as well.
The trouble is, it's tempting, isn't it, there, but then you get a slow exit and the car just drives back past you up this hill. Stephen's doing it exactly right. You need to be patient and do it here.
He's being super patient and waiting even longer. Yeah, Ellis is letting these front runners go by strobing in and out on my screen at least.
I'm just going to leave you for 2 minutes, Pete. I need to get a glass of water because I'm about to have a coughing fit.
Yeah, go for it. So these three seem to have calmed themselves down. Which is kind of what they need to do, isn't it, Marco? Otherwise they're never going to get to the front if they keep bickering and biting at each other.
Yeah, but also, like, now is the best chance to overtake Jamie, so...
That's true, actually, yeah. I mean, they've got a back marker coming up. These two could have a pop at Jamie when he's getting lined up for overtaking and just kind of block him in if they can manage it. Trying to keep my eyes on the timing screens to make sure that nothing happens with the two leaders. Looks like Gary got a slowdown there because he dropped right off the back of these two.
Yeah, the exit of the last corner.
Yeah. Something else going on here. Oddly, that came off as a crash on the event tracker, never mind.
That might have been off track on the.
Oh, on the left hand, on his left hand side, yeah. So change for the lead was finally achieved, and this is how Stephen did it. Nice slipstream approach, sticks it down the inside and gets it turned nicely. And then, whilst I'm watching all these replays, Jason gets his position back.
Yeah, that's a
Slow down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna help the chasing back.
Well, look at them. They're right on him, aren't they? There's going to be a 5-car fight for the lead in a second. Jamie's pretty much bridged that gap now. He's only 1.5. Ooh, look at that. Stephen's gone way out wide. And gets a position taken away.
Okay, I'm back after getting 2 glasses of water.
Excellent. Greedy.
Oh, that's big for Jamie having a car between the Tyler and
so
Gary.
You've missed Adam playing with the limits of the track again. Oh, hang on. Gary is overtaking Tyler. I don't know whether he managed to get... Oh, he did. He got that done. I'm going to watch that one. Does it look like a good overtake? We've had Stephen in the lead, Jason in the lead. Twice each since you've been away. And then Stephen decided to go into the kitty litter on the... I think it was the last corner. And Jamie overtook him. That was the overtake there, as Tyler gave him that position after a slowdown by the look of it.
Yeah, so this is heating up nicely.
It is. And as Marco rightly pointed out, a great place to have Stephen for Jamie, in theory, because it puts a car between him and the 2 BSTV cars who we know are quick.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Stephen has got anything for Jamie. Or is he going to hold up Gary and Tyler and let Jamie get away?
Yeah, I think the track is so drafty that you can stick around if pretty easily. So if you can stay on the draft, I think that's a good plan.
And Adam,
but
sorry,
that's no slowdown.
Yeah. Adam's putting in the fastest sectors, as if he was going to get fastest lap, but Jamie actually got the fastest lap that time round.
So Jamie's stalking Jason Morris.
Yeah, he's not eating into his lead at the minute very rapidly, though.
No, Gary and Tyler have caught Stephen, though.
Ooh, yep, they have.
And Gary has got past him.
Already? That was quick.
Yeah, Stephen got
Oh,
slowdown from the second to last corner.
I think my curses are, after saying that Adam was doing his fastest lap. Round he goes.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Stephen's way out wide here. Rejoining.
I'll check
Well, I'm
here.
not sure Adam will be too worried about that. He's only doing this for fun, isn't he? He's running amazingly well in the V8s.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a replay of what happened previously, where Stephen ended up in the kitty litter. So everybody's getting a bit desperate now.
He must have been giggling at Gary.
Yeah. And have a look at this. There are currently 3 cars in pit road serving penalties.
Well, there was a drive-through shame there, definitely for Adam Wright.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gap at the front is not really moving, is it?
No. That impromptu pit stop. Oh, and we've now got Ellis in the pits as well, doing a drive of shame. Stephen Phillips has been relegated right down now. In fact, is he still in the session?
I thought I saw him disappear.
So everybody's spread out a little now.
Yeah, you got these two together, and they've got a big gap to Jamie Wilson.
And he is eating into Jason's lead.
Well, yes and no. He's just done the fastest lap. Oh, and Jason's lost it.
Oh, you're joking. Another spinner. And Alexander Roggenbuck has done the same, I think, at exactly the same time, but further back down the track. Yeah, he got on the curb again. That's what Marco was saying a minute ago. Stay off the curbs.
That's obviously promoted Tyler and Gary up there, but can they do anything? So the gap at the moment is 3.4 seconds. And we've got, for all intents and purposes, 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think Stephen Phillips is out of the session now. I think. Because his times aren't moving on my screen.
Oh.
That was twitchy, wasn't it?
You know what that was?
What?
Well, that was what it was for us, anyway.
I think that was a good exit. Like, more you can let the car slip.
Yeah.
And go, then you can go on throttle earlier. So you can get the car turned in really early, and then. But yeah, there is a risk of spinning.
Yes, but Marco, you're Scandinavian. That's how you guys drive.
Yeah.
So, looks like a slowdown for Gary, let Tyler through. We have this from Alexander Roggenbuck, just a bit earlier than Jason's spin, which I think is going to be another spin. Didn't he do that exact thing in the last race?
Yeah, he almost caught that one.
Yeah.
But this track is definitely proving tricky for these guys.
Very. It's a really good car track combination as a spectator.
Yeah. I think the only one, Marco pointed it out, the only one we've not seen have any issues, although he may tell us afterwards that he did have a few and we missed them, is Jamie Wilson.
True,
His car was
yeah.
pretty planted in both races.
Yep.
I've been watching Jamie the whole race, well, the whole 2 races, so I've been like the fan club leader here and seeing like there's no twitches or anything like that, so looking good.
Chris Jackson's hello Marco, how is the leg holding up after a V8 stint? Good to have you back and involved in Backfire events.
Yeah, the leg is pretty good. It's compared to normal knee, it's horrible, but it's something I can work with.
I think Chris is just worried that you'll be back to your best soon and taking wins away from him. We get the
I don't have that much time to practice or anything, so no worries there.
Right, so that 3.4 second gap is now 3.6 seconds with 7.5 minutes to go. So I think the trouble is, obviously, Tyler has no toe to Jamie. Gary has no toe to Tyler. We haven't really got a close battle on track at the moment. So let's do a lap on board with Jamie, shall we? And just see what these drivers are seeing as they go round.
He really attacks that inside curve, doesn't he?
He does, but he's neat and tidy on the outside, isn't he, on the exit?
Yeah. We've
seen a number of drivers go over that yellow, whatever it is, lump.
Yeah, sausagey curvy thing. There's one here as well, which is pretty brutal.
But you know, he'll probably prove me wrong now. I'm not seeing much in the way of counter steering from Jamie Wilson.
No, true.
Yeah, I think it's on this section, like the next couple corners, where you might get some counter steering.
Yeah, he just seems very, very smooth. Letting the car run out wide naturally, but not too far. Couple of stabs at getting it in there. Yeah, that was a very, very smooth lap. Not his fastest, but a 1:31.664 for Jamie Wilson there. So 5 minutes left. Still not a lot in that gap. 3.3 seconds.
Adam Wright's just done the fastest lap of the race on a 1:30.99.
Yeah, Jason Morris trying to get back after spinning out from the lead, chasing down Gary Craig for the third step on the podium. But nobody really within any draft range of anybody else for position.
No, not this time. It's the first one we've had where it's not been hell for leather right to the very end. And the top two are doing identical lap times.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, there's no 0.2 of a second, so 0.2. It changes lap to lap.
Yeah, I think Jamie can just control the pace and not take any risks. So.
You've always got to be careful when you've got somebody of Tyler's calibre chasing you down, but I think Marco's right. I think Jamie's not driving on the edge. We saw that from that very smooth lap on board with him, and I think if needed, he's probably got a few more tenths in the bag. It'll be interesting to do an onboard lap with Tyler being the hunter. See how smooth Tyler is.
Bit more raggedy through those.
Yeah, bit more on the limit there, but
Yeah.
still nothing too code brown at the moment.
That is.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa!
There you go.
Great save, though. Great save.
But that's the difference between being the hunter and the hunted.
Yeah. Oh, and a slowdown, is that? Seems to be off the gas very early.
You can tell it's an F1 track, can't you, by the size of the runoffs?
Yeah. Massive. You can build a housing estate on each of them.
A little bit of a twitch there.
This is going to be white flag. See if we can see the white
Where?
flag man out of Jamie's car.
Where's Barney?
There he is. Yeah, I saw him.
So on to the final lap for Jamie Wilson's now got a 4.5 second lead after the code brown we saw from Tyler.
Maybe more corners. On my foot.
So not as exciting as the other races that we've seen in this series. I'm sure that will all change again at Hockenheim.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And then the rest of the series is a bit of a mystery at the moment until iRacing release their next schedule. And we hope to get some more drivers signed up between the races.
I mean, this must appeal to so many. I mean, the first race much more dramatic than the second race, obviously, in terms of competitiveness and close racing. But it's certainly an attractive prospect for any sim racer, in my opinion.
I'm still of the opinion it's going to be a grower.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is just based on the fact that you can arrive and drive. You know, if you want to take it serious, you can. But here's Jamie Wilson crossing the line for a race 2 victory.
Now, where did Tyler go?
Good question. He disappeared down to 4th place, didn't he?
Yeah, Tyler did this.
So he was weaving and spinning.
So, good third place there for Jason Morris in the end after being at the pointy end for a lot of it.
Yeah, I was going to say he threw away a win, but he didn't really. He was in the lead early on, wasn't he? And we all know how difficult it is to hold a lead, especially in these cars and around this track. So your official race 2 results, Jamie Wilson takes the win for Team Chimera, with Gary Craig in second for BSTV Esports Green, and Jason Morris gets a third place as a privateer. Fourth place after that spin was Tyler Newitt. Adam Wright came home fifth. Alexander Roggenbuck in sixth. Michael Frost in seventh. Ellis Stevens in eighth. And Stephen Phillips in ninth. So yeah, not quite the action that we saw last time out, Pete, but there was still some fantastic racing going on there.
Oh yeah, it was towards the 3/4 mark of that one. It did separate up on the track. The penalties didn't help actually, because a few cars came to pit road and ended up like taking themselves out of contention, and obviously that's part of the rules. But yeah, great racing by Jamie, great competitive racing at the start of this one and all the way through the first of the races. Very entertaining evening.
Yeah, and obviously a double win on the night for Jamie Wilson. As well, Marco didn't predict the double win, but he predicted Jamie was going to win that second race, and he did. Marco, anything special you saw out there on the track tonight?
Some good racing, like I think there is some setup difference between the PSTV and Jamie's car. Like I think they had like rear wing less or front wing more on PSTV because it was so much more loose.
Yeah, well, it certainly seemed that way, didn't it? And we saw a number of drivers, just like you say, a couple of wheels on the curb or a wheel on the grass, and the car was away. So yeah, new car. Maybe drivers are still, tweaking away to find that. That nice base setup that people like to start with. But again, I do think there was some absolutely fantastic racing in there. We've got Gary Craig waiting in the interview room, so let's drag him in as he's the first one in there. Gary Craig, welcome back to the booth.
Hello.
So, 2 second places tonight. Now, we were saying before the start of race 2 there that it was going to be interesting because yourself, Tyler and Jamie not only had to work your way through the smaller field, but also you would be battling each other. And then also knowing that one mistake and you're out of it. Once everything shook down, Jamie had a bit of a lead over you guys, didn't he?
Early on we had a bit of a fight. We were getting side by side, but after a couple of laps we kind of settled down so that we could catch the leaders, basically. We didn't really fight much after those first couple of laps. And then, yeah, Jamie had really good pace. He drove away quite well. I kept making mistakes, had a slow down. Tyler got himself a slow down, and then the track got really quite hot compared to what it was like at the start. There, it gained like 10 degrees C, and it was really, really sketchy in those 2 left-handers down the hill. So I just went into a preservation mode where I wasn't pushing so that I wouldn't lose it. I was kind of happy that obviously Tyler would like it to be known that his spin in the last corner was because he knows that he's not going to be able to do the rest of the season, and he's making sure that I get some points towards the championship. That's all it was.
Yeah, most definitely. We know that. But we didn't have the same 30-minute battle that we had at Spa. But still some, absolutely fantastic side-by-side racing, plenty of slipstream down that back straight. So, even if you was in the lead, if you wasn't over a second in front, we knew that it may not last. And we see in race 2, obviously you explained with the track being hotter, but a number of drivers making mistakes. So perhaps would it be fair to say that because Red Bull Ring is a slower track to Spa, drivers were suffering a little bit more because they couldn't go flat out and have all the downforce all the time?
No, not really. It is pretty fast. Like a lot of these corners, you throw the car in and you're relying on the downforce to stick, and you're getting on the throttle early. It's a quick track, and there's only 7 corners, so it goes by quickly as well. So I don't think it's necessarily slower than Spa. The straights are a little shorter, but it's still kind of very, very quick, and the draft's very strong still.
Well, officially, there's 10 corners.
Yes, there's officially 10 corners, but there are 7 corners. This is not America.
Well, you forgot about 9A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next time out, Hockenheim Ring.
Had some good races at Hockenheim in the TCR. It's a good track for racing. It's got some fast bits, keeps you in touch. It's got some twiddly bits where you can try to take advantage of some pace if you've got some. So it could be spicy. You know, it's tight in that kind of sector at the end with the stadium. So looking forward to that. It's a good track, but I've had good races there every time I've been there, so that should be fun.
Excellent. Well, before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, well done to Adam for rocking up last thing, no practice, setting fastest lap in the last race there, leading it, and then, doing a double spin from the lead, unfortunately. But he had a really good pace at the end there. Like, me and Tyler were a second lap slower, and we just couldn't keep up with him. So, well done to him. I'm sure he'll be there next race. Well done to Tyler for giving up those points in the last corner as well. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget to, give praise to your teammate for passing over all of those points to you. Well, congratulations on a couple of second places tonight, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so next up, if I can get him. There he is. It's a double race winner, Jamie Wilson. Welcome to the booth.
God, I'll have to record that and save that out.
That's only because Simon's not here.
Oh, that's true.
Race 1, very interesting. At one point, 4 cars under a blanket, and then drivers kept making mistakes. It was then down to you and Gary to duke it out, but you got it in the end. Race 2. In the end, slightly easier for you. And we did do an onboard lap with you, probably about 20 minutes in, something like that, in race 2. And your car looked like it was on rails. It looked like you was very, very smooth. Didn't look like there was any sliding about and counter steering. I suppose you're going to tell us that's totally wrong, and we missed all the Code Brown parts.
Yeah, I only really had one Code Brown when I was just in front of Gary coming out of turn 4. I just had a bit of, I think I must have clonked the curb or something, and I just had a bit of an oversteer moment. But yeah, other than that, the car felt fantastic. It was, I wouldn't say it was on rails, but I just had a good feel for when it was about to go south, and just having 1% more margin in it. When that kind of thing happens. So yeah, and as you say, people effectively gifted me that a few times. My birthday's next month.
But you know me. I always say you've still got to be there to take advantage when people do that. It was interesting. We did that lap on board with you. I was watching your steering wheel. There was. At no point in the lap that we watched did you turn left to go right or vice versa. We then decided to do one with Tyler, and immediately was on full opposite lock. It looked like the difference between the hunter and the hunted that was going on there. It looked like Tyler was really pushing, whereas you had a little bit left just in case he got a little bit too close to you.
Yeah, and I wonder if they trimmed out a little bit or something like that, which would explain it. I think there's I haven't done that much sort of setup experimentation, but I expect that you get to a certain point, back in the rear wing off, and then it becomes a death trap. So, which was fine at Spa, because it's Spa. You need to be on basically upside down wings there because of the nature of the place. Here, you need that downforce in that middle section. So, it's always going to be a compromise. I wonder if they just went a little bit the wrong side of it, or if it's not that, then I don't know what that would be. So I find the car to be pretty stable out of the box.
Yeah, no, you may have hit the nail on the head there. Hockenheimring next time out. What sort of racing do you think that's going to give us?
Well, the hairpin will be exciting. Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, elephant in the room, the attendance, obviously, Wobbly's got Dutch flu. That's a euphemism for something, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure that is, yeah. He's the only man that's had COVID 27 times that I know.
Yeah. Stefan, if he's around, will always be good around there. It's a shame he wasn't here. He would have been a force to be reckoned with around here, I think. And yeah, a few others. If we can get a grid closer to the first race, or even a little bit more, then I think Hockenheim will be great. It races really well.
Yeah, I think Carter's back next time out,
excellent.
if I remember rightly. And yeah, we've got a month till the next race, so we've got plenty of time to get some more drivers in. I know there's at least 2 or 3 that do some of our other leagues that keep hinting that they're going to sign up, but even with the smaller grids, race 1 we thought was absolutely fantastic, and then probably the first 15-16 minutes of race 2 there was still battles going on, and then it got a little bit spread out, but it does sometimes. That could just be the nature of the track, but on the whole, I thought the racing was fantastic. So any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to Jason Morris. I was a bit gutted in race 2 that he managed to make that mistake, because I think he just about would have had enough.
Yeah.
With what he was doing at the time, because that may not have been super exciting broadcast-wise, but when I was chasing him down, I was going absolutely flat out to try and close that gap, and I was like working out, if I do it that quickly, then I'll get him on lap X, and he was extending that as more we went. It's such a shame he made that mistake.
Well, we was actually calling the gap, and it was hardly changing. We expected you was going to cruise up on the back of him and go past him and pull away, but he was doing a fantastic job, wasn't he?
Because he reacted. I did catch him a bit to start with, and then he reacted to me doing that. So that's what I mean. So by the time we got to the end of the race, I think because I was just on the bubble of the draft. So if I'd got another 0.3 more on him over the next, 4 laps, at that point it would have accelerated my progress up to him because of the draft. So it was quite a kind of strategic race. It's a bit sort of hidden by you guys don't get to see that quite. It's not as visceral basically as a mental race like it was at Spa. So, but it's for when you're in the driving seat, it's super interesting and exciting, just in a different way when you get a race like that. So so I'm really disappointed that he made the mistake and kind of let's say gifted it to me. So a bit of a shame. It's less of a shame when it happens to Tyler. But shout out to yourselves as always for putting it on, and to everyone that I raced, so basically everyone. It was all close quarters stuff, all super respectful as you'd expect. So yeah, good stuff.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your double win tonight. There you go. I've said it twice now, so that you can record it. We'll see you hopefully next time out at Hockenheim in this series, but I'm sure we'll see you on Wednesday in your Aston Martin. Jamie Wilson.
Cheers, guys.
Right, guys. So, not many interviews tonight, which is good because I want to go to bed. So it's time, and let's put Marco on the spot as he's joined us tonight. Marco, who would be your driver of the evening?
I have to say Jamie, because flawless driving in 2 races can't really put anything else on the spot.
I can see why. Pete, who would be your driver of the evening?
Mike Frost got a 4th in the first race, but then had to pit in the second one, so that kind of affects it for me somehow. Don't know why. Jason Morris was very competitive nearly all race, and I'm leaning towards him as well. Gary Craig with 2 second places in a car he doesn't normally drive. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to have to go with Jason Morris, because he was on it like a car bonnet for the vast majority of the second race. Yes, he had some flawed bits in the first one, but he was quick. For the most part, he was steady as a rock until he wasn't. I just think that's worth Driver of the Evening award from me for.
Fair play. I can't disagree with anything that you guys have said. Jamie Wilson looked totally under control, and I really should vote for him, but I don't vote for winners, so that's not happening. Gary Craig, as Pete pointed out, 2 second places. In any other series that we do, that would have got my vote, but not tonight. I also was looking at Mike Frost after that 4th place in race 1, but what probably took the edge off of it for me was, I do think it was Mike's mistake in race 2, and if he'd have come away with another 4th place or something like that, he definitely would have got my vote. So I hate doing this. I'm going to agree with Pete. I think that Jason Morris, I'm not going to say he threw away a win because that's unfair, but I think Jamie swayed me in his interview when he said that, when Jason was in front, Jamie was driving the wheels off of his car and not making much of an inroad into Jason's lead. So I'm going to give my vote to Jason as well. And I hope that, I know that my vote's not going to do anything, but I just have this sneaky feeling that, we've got a month till the next race. Those that want to practice, those that want to do officials and get practice in that way, I just got a sneaky feeling that Jason Morris is going to be a bit of a dark horse in this series, and get some surprising results. Or surprising for us, maybe not surprising for him. So that's another vote for Jason Morris. But yeah, that was a really... It should have been a really easy one to call with a double winner, but, because I can't vote, shan't vote, won't vote for double winners, then, yeah, I'm sorry, Jamie, but, that's the way it is. Right, so what have we got coming up on BSTV this week? To be honest, I have absolutely no idea because I can't find the broadcast calendar, so I'm going to make it up as I go along. We are back in GT4 TCR action on Wednesday, aren't we, Pete? And Pete's going to tell me where we're racing.
No, he's not, because he doesn't know.
That means that Pete is not going to tell me where we're racing, so as I busily click onto the schedule, I can tell you it is Mid-Ohio.
Oh, it's Mid-Ohio.
So obviously Pete has done loads of practice already on a totally different track, but we're getting to the business end of the season now. Only 4 rounds to go. Head to head is into the semi-finals, and the championships, although we have got probably the biggest gaps at the top that we've had all season, it's still very, very, very close. Then next Saturday we are back again, and we are back in V8 action from Donington, and because the way the schedule has fallen, it is an endurance race from Donington. So for me, that's going to make it doubly interesting. I do like an endurance race that has the quicker lap times on the smaller tracks. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Well, for me anyway. May not be for anybody else, but I think it'll be interesting. And you never know. Mr. Namela may make a guest appearance, possibly not, but we never ever say nothing. Anyway, leaves me to say big thanks to Hexeal for sponsoring this series. It most certainly is going to get better as we go along. Thanks to the drivers that turned up tonight and put on the show for us, and thanks to everybody that joined in on the chat. We always appreciate that. Make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you sign up to this league, because it's a lot more fun than you think it is. And also follow us on Facebook. That way you'll never miss any of the action. Big thanks to Pete for doing double duty tonight, cameraman and commentator. And a big thanks to Marco Namela, also for jumping in. We wasn't expecting it, but we always enjoy his insights as a very talented driver into what's going on the track. So it's time to close the broadcast. I should say goodnight, let the guys say goodnight, and then we'll close and we'll see you on Wednesday. So good night everybody, thanks for watching and stay safe.
Yeah, good night. Go on, Marco. Go on. Oh, he's done. That was it. This is the Kimi Räikkönen. Yeah, good night everybody. Thanks to Hexeal, as Clyde said, and thanks to Clyde for holding up the broadcast. It could have been just him. Thankfully Marco, so thanks to Marco, came in to give another voice and some probably expert advice on what was going on. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.